They did not send me any slides, but Aaron said he was going to be here, so hopefully he can at least talk about what's up with that. But Yuan said that he won't be able to be here, so he wants to do most of it at the actual session, at the in-person session. Though probably he won't be in person, but
all right.
Yeah, but at the Shenzhen meeting. But hopefully Aaron will be here, because he said he could be here for the first hour. But we'll see. Yeah, if we do have, by the way, if we do have Aaron for talking about S-frame, then he said he wanted to go early because he can only be here for the first hour. So, not that I think we even have an hour's worth of content right now, but
probably not now.
Yeah,
Gonna be a quick one.
Yeah, I also had a comment from Fippo that he might be able to talk his co-author into talking about the H265 work, but I'm not sure. I'll have to pick him again. So let's give it a few more minutes. Let's hope that some more people show up. It's not a huge turnout so far.
But the cool people are here, just to say.
Yeah, right. All the best people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, does anybody feel like volunteering to take notes? Not that I think there'll be very much to note, but basically any work items or specific to-dos we get mentioned.
I can take note of the actions that we have chairs have to do, of course.
Okay, that's probably I don't think there's going to be a lot. That's probably, if you can do that, that's probably the best thing. But All right, so I guess we might as well get started. As Spencer said, all the cool people are here, so that's the important thing. So let's see. All right, so welcome to the AVTCORE virtual interim. I'm Jonathan Lennox. This is my co-chair, Marius Kleidel. And we are being recorded, presumably, if everything's working correctly. So just the tips, use the hand tool to enter the queue. If you want to speak to something, when you're called on, you need to enable your audio, which is the little icon at the bottom. I think the colors have changed since we made this slide, but they're basically the same. You can also enable video if you want to, but it's separate from audio. You have to enable them separately. Video is encouraged because it can help if we can see you, but not required. And keep both off unless you're chairing, presenting, or speaking, so that we don't get noise in the background. And use of a headset is strongly recommended. Echo cancellation works reasonably well, but it's not always perfect. Note well, for anybody who wasn't at the Montreal meeting, this is the new format of the Note well, which is the same content, but a new presentation of it. Basically, if you are participating in the IETF, you are expected to conform to various policies in regard to professional behavior and IPR issues and privacy statements and other related things. So you can, so please understand those and be aware. There's a QR code which you can scan to get more information. Lori, I'm not sure about the audio connection other than say try a different browser. I don't know if Lori can hear me out of there. All right, so about this meeting. This is the link to the meeting. If you're here, you have it already. There's a notes tool, whatever that tool is called these days. It's not Etherpad anymore, but I forget what they call it now. I don't think you'll need to contact the secretariat. It probably won't be useful. I think I copied this from an in-person meeting slide. Marius and I are the chairs, as I mentioned. I will keep an eye on the chat as much as I can, but if somebody else sees something there and I'm not paying attention, call it out to me. And Marius is taking notes, but if somebody else wants to take notes, that would be great. Oh, and I see Aaron is here. Excellent. Welcome, Aaron. So, draft status. We have published J2K SCL. Haptics is with the RC editor. V3C is with the ISG. There's been a bunch of conversation back and forth about that. We did the working last call with RTP over quick, but we didn't get a lot of responses to it, which is unfortunate. I encourage everybody to please read that and comment on it. We have a newly adopted APV. Just briefly click forward. We're having a call for adoption for Avatar, and we're doing we started a working group plus call on JPEG XS 3rd edition, so please comment on that. So, Aaron, I see you're here. Do you want to talk about the status of S-Frame?
Sure.
Great.
So since I'm new to the calls here, I'm Aaron Rosenberg. I'm currently at Apple and helping on the RTP S-Frame. I also chair the Matter Protocol Committee on cameras. And so we've been pushing adoption or standardization of S-Frames because we're adopting them inside of Matter for all cameras. And so this is one of the last little pieces that is unadopted, is unratified of our constituent inbound standards that we've been looking at. Yuan and I have pushed an updated draft where we think we now have all the individual items that are needed to standardize S-Frame generically over RTP, negotiation via SDP, so that it can be adopted inside the WebRTC framework. This includes a new set of an update to the packetization header that was proposed so that you can support both per frame and per packet S-frame cryptography. It's your choice for how you want to apply it. A inclusion of a new SDP attribute to indicate that you are offering S-frame and that the response side accepts it by leaving the attribute inside of there. And then particularly a key derivation algorithm that will allow you to go from a single master key for a WebRTC session to individualized keys for each SSRC that's in use, which will basically correspond to each M line inside of WebRTC, so that we have properly unique per stream keys in WebRTC sessions that have multiple concurrent media streams going simultaneously, so that we don't have any cryptographic problems with like CTR reuse or key reuse across different media types. And then that would also properly allow different keys for the different cipher suites that may or may not be used for different media types as well. So we're looking for feedback because we want to start building implementations to ship alongside the Matter spec, which will be shipping soon.
That's very exciting. And I assume you're writing this with the intention that, I mean, obviously, since you're doing both specs, the intention that you can get the S-frame encrypted frames from the camera and put them in RTP without having to do, without the in-between thing having to have any cryptograph.
Yes. So the way Matter adopts S-frame is you basically give a camera a key for a session, say, hey, go start a session, use this cipher suite, use this master key, and then the camera will derive out, you know, based upon if you've turned video on, if you've turned audio on, if you have multiple video streams, because, you know, Matter, you can support multiple tiers of video inside of a Matter camera for security purposes or live view, whatever you want. It basically allows to use any external key negotiation mechanism that you want. Matter doesn't define that. It doesn't transport the keys. It just provides a signaling pathway to get the key to the camera. And then it's up to you to get the key to the other side. But it then we have a consistent, sane, standardizable pathway that allows us to derive per stream keys from a single master key. And then you just tell it what, for each stream you want, you tell it which S-frame cipher suite. So, for example, for video, you would use probably a larger tag length. For audio, you would use a shorter tag length cipher suite. And Matter sort of gives you that flexibility to define that. And then we will just build on top of this. This is a required implementation for Matter cameras for how to do packetizations. The reason this is where we would like this to get adopted is today with S-frame, it's basically up to the JavaScript layer at browsers to determine how they deploy it, how they configure it. There is no JSEP layer on Matter cameras. There's no JavaScript execution on them. We're adopting WebRTC as the overall framework for doing media sending, but without the JSEP configuration layer. And so, you know, we want to just standardize, you know, A to B to C in a way that everybody agrees with, and hence the a standardized packetization framework, a standardized per stream, per SSRC derivation algorithm. And that just builds on top of the same mechanism that that S-frame introduced for how to do, you know, HKDF based derivations. The other thing that we also standardize is how and when ratcheting can occur. So for, you know, when you configure this up, you just tell the WebRTC stack, hey, I would like to ratchet every X minutes, and it will perform the ratcheting, and just using the built-in RFC 9605 S-frame algorithm for ratcheting. Okay,
well, very exciting. So is the cryptography all, you know, including the key derivation, all existing, or do you have to invent?
It's all existing. There's no changes to that. The only thing that we do in the draft, and I don't know can you pull up the draft on screen share?
Probably. I'd have to stop the slides. Let's see.
Because the derivation of the per stream key is probably, it's what's new in the I think we're at version 2 of the draft right now. And that's what is actually the complex part to implement. Everything else is just configuration.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
All
that's
right,
what we are really looking to get feedback on.
Okay, let's see. So share
And start.
screen. Oh no, I have to stop. Oh, this is a ridiculous thing. I have to stop sharing screen, start sharing screen, and I have to. Yes, I want to start sharing the screen. I want to close share the tab, which I think should be this. So you should see. I mean, this is not the. This is just GitHub's rendition of the Markdown, so it's kind of clunky. But
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah.
So if
Which
you go
section do you want?
down to the so the SDP negotiation, we can start there.
This one?
Basically, just
Yeah.
a single A equals S frame to be applied as an attribute.
Mhm.
We are not negotiating cipher suites over this, over SDP that was pulled out. To determine RTP key management, basically, the algorithm follows the model that S-frame uses for intermediate key derivations and does a DF expand and extract using the hash algorithms that are defined by your cipher suites. So that's all, we're not defining anything new other than basically taking the base key, which is this, think of it like the session level key, expanding that out with the SSRC and the salt value that's defined in the spec, and using the defined cipher suite that defines which hash algorithm and size of hashes are in use. And then I built a little key tree here that shows what happens when you ratchet. Each SSRC stream then ratchets forward using the stock S-frame ratcheting algorithm, which is in RFC 9605.
Okay, go.
So you can have nice forward ratcheting throughout the length of a call that's all configurable for everything.
All right. I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to need, review by security people who know what they're doing, which is not me. But it sounds good, and I'm glad that this is, moving forward and has real energy behind it, because it's been sort of stagnant for a long time. So I'm glad that I'm glad to have you come on and be real force behind it. So yeah, probably what we should do is have an actual presentation about this at the meeting in Shenzhen. I don't know if if you're going to be there in person, but
I probably won't, but I hope Yuan will.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah, and otherwise you can present in the middle of the night. But yeah. All right. Yeah. So great. And of course at the meeting there, we'll have all the security people there at the meeting. So that should hopefully get us more review, and we'll probably do a proper sector review at some point in this work. But it certainly sounds like good. Sounds very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Early review from the security directorate already?
I think, judging exactly when to do that is not, it probably, if you think this is mature and as far as done, probably we should start, it probably couldn't hurt to start looking at that. So yeah, maybe we should take a note to do that.
I think it's pretty mature. It's past our internal things when we contributed it out. So it's gone by the Apple internal security folks.
Okay, well, that's a good sign. So yeah,
and looks good. And again, it's all based on top of the designs done in 9605. It needs independent security review. I agree.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, but it sounds like it's ready for that independent security review. Okay,
I think it is.
Okay, well, all right. So let's take a note to ask for that, I think, and looking forward to the bigger presentation in Shenzhen. Great, thank you. Let me switch back to the chair slides. Do I have anything more to say in the chair slides? Were there any other drafts you wanted to say anything about at this point? Yunsik?
Hello, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
I just want to have one question for the avatar draft. So, as I know, the avatar adoption call has ended, but I didn't get any outcome or the result about that. So I just wondering if we need.
I think basically we just need to review. It sounds like everything there was. I don't think that Marius and I just need to review that. I don't think there's anything. So let's make a note of that to resolve the avatar call for adoption. Marius, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let's see, I had hoped to have Pippo here to talk about HEVC WebRTC, but I guess he couldn't make it. So let's move on to our first presentation, which is green metadata. Who's presenting this one? Young. Okay, great. Do you want slide control, or do you want me to do slide control?
You can control the slides. Thanks.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you. So here is I'm presenting the latest progress on the RTCP message for temporal spatial resolution. Yeah, next slide, please. So the draft was originally motivated by ISO standard 23001. That's the energy efficient media consumption, also known as the green MPEG. During the past few years, the draft has been revised a number of times based on the feedbacks and the comments we received. And the latest V7 is updated and uploaded last month, mainly to address the latest comment from Eric and Yongguang. And yeah, thanks very much for their comments. So the update is mainly about the green metadata background, latest development, and the primary use case. The primary use case is mainly for the point-to-point video conferencing, for example, to save the battery, to ensure the session completion in time, and also the resolution for frame rate reduction also can align with the software implementation, like the processing resource can be allocated to the software decoder. So in case any resource is not enough, the resolution, spatial resolution or frame rate can be reduced for the adaptation. And also, yeah, just few like typos or bugs spotted on the figures. For example, the 30 should be renamed to reserved bits, and the number of bits in the figure does not match the semantic. So all those errors are corrected in V7. Yeah, thanks again for the comments. Next slide, please. So as advocated before, the spatial and temporal resolution change has been widely deployed or enabled by the hardware, software, and different platform. For example, the NVIDIA SDK, WebRTC API, and the Microsoft Draft all support the spatial and temporal resolution changes. And the latest advanced video codec, such as AB1 and H.267 also support changing the resolution on the fly without introducing the significant high bit rate. So I think the technology is mature. So here we just promote for the interoperability, so the technology can be exchanged across different devices and platforms. Yeah, thank you. Next slide. Yeah, so here the next, we already have the first WGLC, I think back in 2024. So here we request the second WGLC. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's all my presentation.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, I think certainly, I think it sounds like a second working request call is the appropriate next step. So Marius, can you put that on our to-do list? And we will probably try to get that out before Shenzhen.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right. And so Spencer, I think I can, what I can do is I can start the slides and then hand you slide control, I think. Yes, there we are.
Okay, fabulous. And I have slide control.
Great.
So excellent. So slide one is just greetings from me and Victor on continued work on SDP offer answer for RTP over quick. On slide 2, these are the coordinates. We've had, and I wanted to say, meetings are good forcing functions. Thank you to the chairs for scheduling an interim. I was thinking about, mostly been thinking about rock with eyes, but I wasn't typing. And so for this meeting, I started typing. We had 3 open PRs since AVTCORE at 124. One was merged after discussion at IETF 124. One is ready to merge, although it is new, so I haven't merged it. And one, we're still working on direction, and there's a little more stuff to do, but we're always interested in people that realize that there's more stuff to do, pointing that out. On slide 3, we had this question about clarifying the relationship between bundle and rock flow. There, we had a PR that clarified that, but said that there wasn't one. That was wrong. We discussed this at 123 and 124, where we just said we needed to merge, or we said we needed to define the RTP session as the same as a rock flow, as the same as bundle. And I merged the PR that we had at IETF 124. Next slide. We had this question about the name of the draft was SDP for RTP offer answer over quick, and Ross had this question about can we change the title and stop saying that this is limited to offer answer SDP usage, and I don't know why that's wrong. I've been thinking about it for a while. I think so. I created a PR that just basically changed the title. I'm interested in feedback about whether that's ready to merge or not.
Is this just a change to the title, or did you actually also add text specifically about how to use it in declarative?
No. Do you think would that be necessary?
I mean, I don't think you probably need to say a lot, but just think about it. If somebody's using this in declaratory declarative mode, how sort of very at a very simple level, how would it work? And I support doing this because I agree there's probably useful cases for it if you understand it. If you don't understand it, then don't do it. But yeah, I think it'd probably be good to say something, even if it's not very much. So.
Okay. Thank you for the guidance. Anything else?
I mean, I might have some opinions on how to use it in declarative, but I haven't thought about it very hard, so I'd be talking off the top of my head. So
yeah, you're very good at identifying things that you haven't thought about and making me think about them. So I would like to thank you for carrying out that part of the chair role.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, sort of. I guess I've. It's sort of an interesting question how the cryptography works in declarative mode. Obviously, you can't.
That's my question. Yes.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to treat it like a web server, like anybody. The server identity is declared based on its fingerprint, but anybody can connect to it, and the server has to be prepared for it and handle its authentication in whatever way it expects. So
right,
that's how
right.
Cool. And I don't know if the existing TLS or BTLS drafts talk about declarative mode. If they do, hopefully you can just crib something from them because it's really the same architecture. If they don't, well, I think I wrote that draft, so blame me.
So I may be back to invite you to think more about it. Good.
You might be, yes.
I'm good either way, Jonathan. Thank you for the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so the meat of my discussion here was that PR 34 still needed work after IETF 124. We're clarifying the relationship between ice and rock. Again, we had helpful discussion with Harold and Niels, and agreed on a direction change, which was basically define a rock ice transport protocol. And that way, that's what's popping up in the ICE negotiation. And the ICE endpoints are not, are the, well, the RTP endpoints are not likely to be confused because one of them is expecting to do uh, rock and the other is not expecting to do rock. So we think that's a better answer than the hack that I was talking about previously. So basically, defining a rock ice transport protocol, the IANA part is the easy part. The model is, this will be the same as UDP ice, except for the obvious differences. And so I'm working to identify the obvious differences. I did stick this in a different document. This is basically just for ease of review, because if we ask somebody to think about this, they don't have to understand very much about the details on rock or rock SDP in order to provide feedback. If this turns out to be a page of obvious differences, I can fold this back in easily. If it turns
Is this
out to be-
actually a rock ice transport protocol, or is this a quick ice transport protocol?
So that would be the first question.
Mhm.
I was thinking that somebody is going to need to know that this is RTP. Okay, so so if you use ICE for quick,
Mhm.
cool, but
I mean, certainly, like the SDP says this is RTP, right? Because that's in
yeah,
the emblem.
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
if you wanted to do peer-to-peer quick negotiate with SDP that's not RTP, I feel like there's not, you'd put a different thing in the M line, but other than that, maybe there's no difference. So
Cool. So I was actually hoping that I could click on these things that I don't think that I can.
no, I don't think you can click on. Unfortunately, I don't think you can click on shares. If you want, I
Bummer.
can switch you to sharing your actual screen, and you can share your.
Okay, and I will
Let's
request
see.
screen share, and I will try to
How
come
do
up with
I-
something quick to.
Where do I approve that? Hold on. I know there's a way to. Ah, there it is. Okay.
I have faith.
Yeah, the UI is there's your multiple different places it could be, and it was not in the one I expected, but I found it eventually.
Yeah. And why would that be wrong?
Mhm.
So okay, so I'm here, and so
we're not. I'm not actually seeing your screen yet. I think you'll need to say what you actually want to share.
let me go back and find that. See, yes, I want to share my screen. Yes, I want to share the entire screen. Cool. So there we fall down the
Yep. Now,
stairs, and then
yep,
we
and
have this.
okay,
Okay,
good.
so the IANA the IANA section looks exactly like you would think it would, which is not very exciting, because that's like all that's required. So this what you get, and that I'm still typing text, but just providing background. But this is, so these are the things that I'm looking at. Actually, you can see out here on the right-hand side, basically candidate selection, candidate preferences, candidate collection techniques, receiving initial offers and composing answers, and parallel quick connection initiation. Honestly, what I'm doing is sorry, the where am I there? The the TCP/I specification basically says that do eyes except for these obvious substitutions.
Hmm.
So I'm using the outline of the TCP/I specification as my checklist to see if some of the
Yeah.
some of the things are there's no difference. There's no difference between quick and between doing it over quick and doing it over UDP. So I could say that maybe that's helpful. But the ones where there are obvious differences, that's what I'm focused on now. So I have been working on this for about a week, but not more than a week. So I have some editor's notes in. These are going to be these are going to be issues in the repo. And so again, people make it easier for people to review and provide comments and things like that. And then so this is basically 4.4. This is basically what the TCP iSpec says, except that they encode TCP candidates as described in their specification. So these will be as described in the SDP ROC specification. And so I know we have more work. This needs more eyes on it than the eyes that have been on it so far. But I mostly just want to give the group a heads up that this is happening. And Harold has pointed out an interesting thing that we're going to be doing port 9 discard, which means you can do outgoing quick but not incoming quick over the UDP port pair. There's some implications that follow from that. I'm still figuring out what they are. So that's because we are reusing the setup attribute that you get from TCP. So is this going to be active? Is this going to be passive? Is this going to be and so what exactly how that works needs to be described to say how is this going to work with isolate versus full eyes. But like I say, I'm trying to do as little violence as possible, but
okay, that's I mean, that certainly sounds like useful work, and I agree. Probably having this be a separate draft from the SDP draft does make sense.
at least for now.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I'm not. It might make sense for this just to be quick ice, not rock ice, and let the SDP just make that distinction, and then probably also worth, at least when you're a little more confident that it's ready for a wider audience, sending a note to the quick mailing list also saying, hey, I'm working on this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also send a
so,
note to the AVT saying, hey, this exists, so we can, see it and then take a look at it.
Yeah. You all have kind of trained me for the IVTCORE practice of showing up with an individual draft and then the right things happening.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So just I'm chewing away, and like I say, I want to get a full pass through my list before I'm annoying a lot of other people, but I will be annoying other people.
Sounds great.
So
I look
next
forward to
step,
being annoyed.
I'll do my best. So I have feedback about PR 36 for the proposed title change. Thank you for that. be discussing the text that I'm putting in RockIce, either in GitHub or on the mailing list. And like I say, I don't care whether after we converge, I don't care whether this goes in a SDP rock draft or its own draft. I haven't submitted a 0.0 yet, so don't care. I need to be able to repair the text in the Ice Before Rock PR that exists now, whether that points to the I specification or whether it just contains more information, whatnot. But like I say, I recognize that there's some work back in the SDP specification, just making all that coherent. The thing on, so we do have two not now issues. One is about, do we want to specify RTCP feedback replacement with quick equivalence? I think that's still an interesting question. I don't think we're ready for that yet. My impression was that a good thing for us to do was to get implementation experience. And then once we have implementation experience, we could talk about what should happen and how will we expect things to work. I keep running into people that are saying, "Oh gosh, we want, it would be simpler if we just use the quick mechanisms." And there's an awful lot of RTCP that's been defined. So I don't want to start even having opinions about that before we get to the point where we have more implementation experience. We got
That
some,
makes sense to me. Yeah.
but
And possibly it could be even something that doesn't need to be in this base spec. If you negotiate, hey, I want to use this quick mechanism rather than this RTCP mechanism. If it's a separate negotiation, it doesn't have to be in the same spec even.
Yeah, I mean the number of separate RTCP specs that exist, kind of point in that direction. Certainly, we did have a question from Sam when he was still at where was that, British Tel, about interaction with Mask UDP Connect. I think that's still an interesting thing to think about, but we have not been talking about it. Mostly because we were trying to get the base specifications in some kind of coherent shape. I'm just leaving that as not now, but it's still an open issue.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I would say it's. If it is, does need. I agree, it's not now, but I think it's also a not now in the scope of RockIce, not in the scope of SDP Ice.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Thank you. And then we do have an existing issue, just making sure that the ROC and SDP, ROC SDP drafts are synchronized. Again, I want to thank you all for the forcing function, scheduling an interim meeting. Mattis and I noticed this week that, hey, funny thing happened. The base ROC specification expired. We still have an issue that we haven't merged in on that one yet, so we can work on that before IETF 125.
Sounds good.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Not that I can think of. So it sounds like you're making good work, but it's still work in progress. So keep doing good work.
Okay, and thank you all very much for scheduling the interim and for the opportunity to get some feedback from the folks on in the working group. I am out of here. Have a great day.
Okay, see you. Thank you. All right, so thank you all. And the one other thing, we do now have a new repository for working group materials. So like the agenda, we'll keep track of old agendas, things like that there. So mostly it's just for the chairs, but if you're interested, you can take a look and see what our past agendas were in a way that's easier than probably than looking at the old proceedings. And also just a reminder that yes, we do have a GitHub organization for the working group. So if you're doing a draft and you're not currently you're in the working group organization, we can transfer it there. I'm not sure if we actually have things that are still outstanding for that, but if you want, we can transfer it there. So thank you all. Anybody have any other business? Otherwise, we can call it a day and say we will see you all in or virtually in Shenzhen. All right.
Make good choices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.